entertainment capital of the world, it's the Joe Cortez Show.
Hello and welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment capital of the world. We have my co-host, Delynn May. Today we have a dear guest from Toronto, Canada. We have Quentin Peterson, who's a creator and founder of a boxing video game, and his assistant here, that she's a talented young lady. She is a graphic designer and merchandise with the merchandising. And you could tell us a little bit about Quentin, tell us a little bit about your game, your video game.
Yes, so it's been a while since there's been a video game that was focused on boxing. And I'm here to announce that Joe Cortez is going to be the referee in a new boxing game called Hard Knock Nights Live. If you want to find it, you can go hnl.gg. Quick way to get to our website. Right there. Hard Knock Nights Live is the name of the game. It's coming out in 2020, and we are about to launch a Kickstarter so you can buy the game early.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about you come up with this idea. Who inspired you to do this video game?
So our company, Canada App Studio, back in Canada, we started making a game. It was like a third-person shooter with guns. And I was having dinner with a friend and his wife, and I showed them what I was doing, and they were like, why don't you do something without guns? There's so much violence, so many kids acting up, and people say, you know, it's a trigger for some people. And she's like, do something with teddy bears. And I was like, So boxing, which I love, it's actually where we met, in a boxing gym. Yeah. That just inspired me, and a lot of my friends are fighters. A lot of my friends are promoters in Canada. They do some of the best fights in Toronto, Lee Baxter Promotions, Sam Vargas, who was like my first friend who was a fighter, so he kind of inspired me. And then it just grew from there. Here we are.
Well, and I'm going to just elaborate on the violence side of it. I appreciate, boxing is not teddy bears, as we were talking about earlier, but it is, I appreciate that you don't have a video game that involves guns.
Yes.
So that's good. That's good. And Brianna, you do the graphic design.
Yeah.
And you're the artist. That's so great. Tell us a little bit about what you do with that and how that plays into the game.
Yeah, so I do a lot of the graphic designing for the trading cards.
Okay.
So whereas trading cards would normally be seen with an actual picture of like the boxer or the baseball player, wherever you normally see trading cards, it's going to be like an actual piece of art now, which is cool because there will be limited edition ones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Some signed ones, autographed ones.
Yeah.
Now, Brianna, tell you, now I've seen some of your artwork. Not only you do this graphic design for the boxing, but tell us a little bit about you're a young lady who is so super talented. I've seen some of your artwork. Can you tell us elaborate a little bit about it?
Yeah, so I started out just doing like painting, and I was doing a lot of like landscapes. And then everyone would come up to me, and the first thing they'd say, like, they'd see this landscape, and they'd say, oh my gosh, can you paint me? Oh my gosh, can you draw me? And I was like, oh, I can draw landscapes, I can't do people. And then I was like, okay, well, everyone wants to just paint themselves, so I have to just start actually working on painting people. And I was working out at a boxing gym, and Sam Vargas actually trains there. So I was like, that'd be kind of cool. Like, I was a fan of his, so I'm like, I'll paint him and bring it into the gym. So I was like, okay, gotta try doing people for the first time. And I brought that into the gym, and he posted on his Instagram and got a lot of good feedback. So I was like, oh, and then the other boxers at the gym were like, oh, can you paint me? So then I started just doing boxers, and then when the fights were happening, it was a good way for me to announce the fights, because I was posting pictures of my paintings, the boxers were reposting them, and I was getting a lot of really good feedback. And then I was working out at the gym that Quentin was working at, so then that's how we connected, and then that's how I got connected into the game.
So I would love to see you really get more involved with the boxing and get the people around the whole world. But then again, not only boxing, you do all sports.
Yeah, all sports.
So that'd be great, people from all sports. And I'm coming up with something that I'll be talking about soon. I don't want to mention on the air right now.
Yeah.
But you're the kind of person that would be talking about all sports. I mean, you're amazing. You'd be great for that. I've seen your artwork. I would wish when maybe next time we come on the show that we have some of your artwork that we could
Yeah.
do a show
Definitely.
surrounding your artwork alone.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's cool because sometimes I'll paint or I'll draw a boxer, and people that aren't even interested in boxing or don't really know too much about it will come up and ask me, "Oh, who is that?" And I'll get to that'll open up the conversation for boxing, which I
Right.
think is really important because even people that aren't necessarily 100% into boxing yet, that will start that conversation and maybe pull them into it if they're more into art.
Quentin, you found this young lady. You know she's very talented. She brings a lot to the video game. How do you see this game growing in the world when it comes out 2020?
So when this game comes out, we're going to be holding tournaments at real fights around North America. So it's a good way to get younger people involved in the sport and fill seats, because a lot of promoters out there, that's their biggest task, is filling seats for the fight.
Yeah.
So if we can get parents to bring their kids earlier in the day, they stick around for the fight. It's better for the promoters, more money for the fighters, which is a huge inspiration for this game as well, because fighters, as we know, we've had a tough year. People have passed away, and there's no real pension plans for these guys. So any revenue stream that can help their families, help their medical bills, help them train, and help their camps is a good thing.
That's good. I mean, you're bringing something very positive to the sport. I mean, this is something that's way overdue. But I'm glad you come up with this idea. You're the creator and the founder of the Hard Knock game.
Yeah.
It's just an amazing concept. That you
It's
come
not,
up with.
it's not, and it's not just me. I have two business partners, Zach and Josh. They're back in Canada. They work hard every day. And then other programmers who are probably working right now. Hey, guys.
Hey guys.
We hope they are, right?
They better be.
Ooh, that's good.
No, but I think it's great that what you're doing is putting this out. Now, the other day, last week, they had some fights out in L.A. at the Staples Center, and they had these two individuals who are like YouTube. They have a great followers on YouTube. They have like billions of followers, and the whole arena was sold out, and like 40, 15,000 fans came to see these two guys that never fought in their life. One guy was named Logan.
Logan Paul
Logan Paul.
and KSI.
Yeah, can you see that? And these guys never laced it up, but they put up a good 5-6 rounds, and they were the main event. And Devin Haney, who's the WBC lightweight champion, whom I represent, he was the championship fight on the card, but the main event was these two guys that never fought in their life. But they sold out the arena.
And then also Billy Joe Saunders.
Billy Joe Saunders on the card as well.
Yeah,
too.
middleweight champion. He is actually supposed to be in the game. We're working on it. So Billy, if you're watching, comment.
Well, we're going to be getting a lot of other fighters out of the game. The games will be changing. New games will be coming out. Version 1, version 2,
yep.
and so on down the line. But we're going to hope to bring out as many world champions or former world champions on the game as well, because they have great following. And it'd be good to see video games where you have these two fighters. You say, wow, here's Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis. And now we're making this happen. Mike Tyson versus Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder versus Mike Tyson.
And then there's also women in the game too.
Yeah, well-
So there's lots of women fighters that I know from Canada who are just great. And when I go to fights, sometimes that's the most entertaining match of the evening, because it's just a lot of heart and energy.
That'd be great. No, the fighters, the names that I just mentioned, are not on the contract. I'm just talking about those are the kind of fighters we like to have in the future in the game, because these are real household names that are fighters that are known around the world. Can you imagine bringing Muhammad Ali back to a boxing video game, and we get the contract signed with the family, and they'll say, we got Muhammad Ali part of this game and part of his foundation, and we can work it out where it'll be good for boxing. This is where we can talk about helping our fighters with pension plans and have some kind of a security for the fighters once they're retired from boxing. We're trying to create something where we can say, okay, now we can help out everybody around the world. Because a lot of fighters, they make a lot of money, then at the end they end up broke. But this is like a security blanket for them. They can end up getting some kind of an income, residual income every year once they're involved with this video game. But that's what we're talking about, brother.
Yeah, and it's super exciting. Like yesterday you mentioned, we were talking about champions who don't quite qualify for Hall of Fames but have great accomplishments. So this is kind of another way to shed light on a lot of those people that
Yeah, exactly.
Need that.
Yeah, they did these legendary fighters. You got like Gaspar Indian Ortega. People, who's Gaspar Indian Ortega? People don't know, but he's the guy that got me started in boxing. And Gaspar Ortega had 185 professional fights. 185. And he only got stopped twice. One by Emma Griffith for the welterweight championship, and one by Sandro Massinghi in Italy. And Gaspar Ortega is still alive today, but he doesn't qualify for the Hall of Fame because he was never a world champion, even though he fought for the champion. He fought many fighters that were former ex-champions. He beat Benny K. Perez, where Perez was world champion, but it was a non-title fight. So Gaspar Ortega, we'd like to create a category, a legendary category.
Yes.
So these fighters can get recognized for their accomplishments. They're household names, people love them, but they said, no, we can't get you guys in the Hall of Fame. Those things are going to change real soon. So I'm working on other projects to make sure that everybody gets a fair share of what they put in their efforts.
Fair but firm.
Yeah, well, it'll be something new. I'm going to be fair but firm about that real soon.
And then another resource, like if you guys are interested in the game and want more info outside of this show,
Right.
Showbiz The Adult, Showbiz, he has a YouTube channel, and he's also a referee in training under Joe in the game. So
Well, we're going to be doing
he's got a lot to learn.
And his name is Showbiz.
Showbiz The Adult, yeah, Showbiz.
Yeah, Showbiz. So we're going to be doing shows together here in Vegas, and maybe he's out of Texas.
No, he's out of Chicago.
He's out of Chicago.
He actually did something amazing and just donated his kidney to his brother. So he would have been here with us right now, but he's recouping right now.
Showbiz, if you're watching, buddy, congratulations for a job well done helping your brother out. That's paying it forward.
And Showbiz the brother, man. We're glad you're well.
Yeah, we'll
God
be
bless you.
Yeah, very well. So anyway, we're going to continue with the sport. We're going to make sure that we keep growing the sport. The sport seems to be coming back now again. You know, it's getting more with the online. You see all these individuals coming up with these websites and games and talk shows, podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Everything you see a lot about boxing. So we're definitely coming back, and we're going to give you guys a big knockout when it comes to the Hard Knocks.
Nice live, yeah.
Nice live. It's going to be nice. It's going to be beautiful.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too because it could be something that you see in a lot of video games out there, but nothing like this. This is going to be special. It's going to be for a good cause as well because of what we're going to be doing, helping our fighters out there, making sure that they're covered once they're retired.
And we have Joe in our corner, so if I'm doing something that's not accurate or correct, he'll call me out.
I'll say, yeah, I'm fair, but I'm firm, buddy. We got to fix this up.
I like that we are working with the young people as well. And I think the trading cards have something to do with that. You know, you think of a baseball trading card, and you were looking at some yesterday when we were at the gym, and just what that's going to bring to the table, and the fact that it has even more of an aspect, being that it's not just a trading card, but it's a piece of art.
Yes.
So can we elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yes. So Brianna is painting not as we speak, but as we speak, doing the majority of our initial roster, and then there's some surprises that are going to be in our cards. So like you'll be able to find like pieces of ring mats from fights, maybe some hand wraps that might be gross, maybe ring mats and some gloves.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to donate some of my ring mats that I have from my original ring that I have at my training facility. And I'm just changing the canvas. So we're going to have a lot of nice light blue canvas. We'll be able to cut that in pieces and make thousands of pieces so we can put it part of the artwork for Joe Cortez's Fair but Firm ring.
There we go.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about this belt as well and how they can earn
Yes.
that?
So this belt is yours if you win in the game. We're going to be having tournaments. We have a league. It's called the eBoxing Championship League. And the first tournament will be in Las Vegas here in August. And some special invite people from like our founders list. They'll be able to come down and compete at EVO, which is a fighting video game competitive championship tournament. And we'll be there with our game and people can play. And the winner is going to take that home. And they get to keep that and defend their title with their mandatories.
Yeah,
just like the pros.
You know, a lot of folks say, Joe, when a fighter loses the championship, the belt that's in that ring, does he get to he had to give that belt up. Well, you know what? In boxing, what they do is they you win the championship tonight. You took my title. I'll let you use my belt that night only for photos. After the photo shoot and all that is done, after the conference, the media conference, what we do is get the belt back to the former champ who lost it. Then the World Boxing Council or the World Boxing Association, WBO, IBA, they in turn will send the champion a new belt. They have a ceremony to present him with a new belt later on.
And on that note, this belt is actually made by the same people who make the IBF belts.
Okay, good.
Out of New York.
Out of
Hello,
New
Sartonk. Thank you very
Okay.
much. It's beautiful.
Well, anyway, so that's the story behind these belts. These belts are very precious, and they're good to have. I mean, I have several of them at home. It's a nice collectible item. It's only one of a kind, and once you get it to you, it's presented with your name. Is engraved on the side of the plaque on the side, the tournament, and your name and the year you won the championship belt. So that's very, very special piece, a nice prize to have.
And there'll be other prizes for people there'll be other prizes. Not sure what.
Yeah, I was thinking about, talking about other prizes, I'm thinking about, well, we have these champions. Once in a while, we got to get them to do a travel show. We could travel different parts around the world.
That's a great idea.
This is take the belt with them, and we help promote the game, and by the same time, promote them as champions with this tournament. So not only you win the championship, but you're also going to be part of a travel show.
World champion.
Yeah, world champion. So that people around the world get to meet you personally and say, "Hey, I'm the champion holding up that belt. I'm the champion of the special game that came out. So this Hard Knock Nights Live. It's going to be a special game that you guys can't miss."
NHL.gg.
Yes.
That's another way to remember it.
Yes.
Yes, that's a simple way.
So you go on the website. You go on the website.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
NHL.
And we'll be doing updates weekly, more info. Joe's going to be giving you guys more info. Delin is going to be giving you more info.
Of course I am. It's going to be all over my Facebook. That's
going to be
for
giving
sure.
you more info as well.
No, Brianna.
And Showbiz.
Your artwork. Well, I want to talk a little bit more about your artwork. You showed me some stuff yesterday, some pictures of that you painted of some of the great fighters, and I mean, this is amazing what you've done. I'd like to see your studio one day, maybe here in Las Vegas. Like I went to a studio a couple of nights ago at the Arias Hotel, and what's the name of that studio?
Ilana Bolveta. I'm not sure if I say that
Okay,
correctly.
but it was beautiful.
Russian, beautiful art, though.
Beautiful art. We were invited to a special event there, and we went there, with representing our company, Fairbird Firm, and with our friend Tim, who's putting up he has the Heads Up Museum, but where you have the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame is within the Heads Up Museum, and Tim is one of the owners. So he invited us to that event. It was such a special event. I'd like to see something like that with you one day, as having a nice art gallery like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And because your work, I know your work. I've seen your work, and I can put you up against that artist there. I think you guys can compete with each other, and I think you'll come up on top. Because you definitely have a lot of talent for your young age. This lady, she's Russian, and she's started her artwork in 2011. Come on, are you kidding me? And she's already so famous and so popular, and some of the artwork in there is unbelievable. I said, if she's doing it, I know Brianna can do it. 'Cause you're so young and so talented. And, it's like a fighter. You're 19 years old. When Mayweather was 19, he was just starting out. People say, oh, he's good. But look how much better he got. Mm-hmm. Same thing's going to happen with you. You're like a superstar, a 6-round fighter, but haven't reached a 12-round limit yet. When you reach the 12 rounds, the whole world is yours after that.
Oh, wow.
And that's what I can see you happening with your art. I think you're very talented, and God bless you always.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I remember the day we met her.
Yes.
Went to steal her and bring her down here.
No.
Quentin's like, no, we need her for the game.
Yes. Lots of work to do.
Yeah, no. Brianna brings a lot of talent, and you bring a lot of talent to the game, the boxing game. I mean, this game. The Hard Knock Nights Alive is going to be special, and you're doing the graphics with the cards and other stuff that you'll be doing. I know you'll be developing ideas as we go along on a weekly basis. I know you're always brainstorming and thinking about. You sit down with Quillen.
And we're watching fights too. We're there. And
Yeah.
we're always at the fights.
You got Devin Haney. You seen Devin Haney? How good he is.
Oh yeah.
He's 20 years young, And when I first met him, he was 10 years old, and I told him, I said, "Who's your daddy?" I said, "Bring your dad over here." He came over. I said, your son has championship material. This kid is going places. Here he is, 20 years old, has a green belt, WBC lightweight champion of the world.
How's it going, Devin?
Yeah, Devin.
He just
And
had
he
a birthday
retained it.
recently.
Yes.
He was just 20 years old. And I tell you that boxing is great, especially when you got these young individuals, young talent like Brianna, young talent. I see her a champion in the art world. You know, you have different sanctioning bodies. with Brianna, there's no sanctioning body. There's only be one body alone. Brianna Brianna is just amazing. As a matter of fact, you showed me one of your sweatshirts that you had yesterday. You have your own trademark.
Yeah, I do.
Your own.
My own. I have sweaters and T-shirts and.
Yeah, you have
everything.
a big B.
Yeah, so it's like the signature. What I sign my art with,
Uh-huh.
I actually have that available on like.
It looks beautiful. I love
shirts
that.
and
So you have your own clothing line.
Yeah, when I had my first art show, my first solo show, I hosted it, and it was a way for just like not just visual arts, but other performers as well in Toronto to be able to, show their talents in the art world, and just like a way of overcoming obstacles through the art. So I hosted that event, and it was a success. That was just like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
And
when I was up there in Toronto with the Jess Mello boxing event, the U.S. versus Canada, was pretty impressive a couple of months ago. They took me down the streets, and I saw all this artwork. It all started back then with a little graffiti. Now it's like, can you tell us a little bit about those artwork?
Yeah, so once upon a time, all of that artwork was illegal. And a lot of the artists and writers would go in the middle of the night and paint.
And that was a very dangerous area in Toronto as well.
Yeah, and then the police would be like after these guys, writing them fines and tickets that they couldn't afford because they're all starving artists. And then when the businesses started realizing that people were gravitating to these areas, our city got involved and they legalized these laneways. So now they're kind of concrete canvases.
So it's like a tourist attraction. When I went there,
Yeah.
people were all lined up and taking pictures on these
Yeah, and
walls.
now those alleyways where you would normally not be able to walk, you can now walk there freely with your kids because the art being there made it a lot safer because the crime that was going on in those alleyways has now had to move.
Yeah. No, I was pretty impressed with that.
Gone.
Yeah.
Very impressed with that.
Tell us about, like, while you're working on this game,
Yes.
how, it's consuming you
It's-
in a
it's-
positive way.
In a very positive way. It's a lot of work, and it's not just me. Hey, Jargo. I have like guys in Russia, people in England, people from China, Japan, Canada, America, Brianna. And everyone's working hard on this game. It's a lot of work. We've been working on it for about, off and on, like 2 years.
Yeah, no, when you guys came to Vegas earlier this year, and we hooked up at the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame Museum, you were there, and we started talking, and we became friends, and you were telling me what you were doing. Next thing you know, I'm part
Here
of the
we
team.
are.
Yeah.
I'm part of the team, and Lynn is my executive assistant who's doing a fine job and making sure we keep everything together and making sure we're doing the right things to make sure we get people on the right track.
Yeah.
And we definitely, are going to be helping a lot with this game. I'm really so excited to see that the Hard Knock Nights Alive is going to be coming alive soon.
And exactly, and it's a great thing for boxing. Like I love boxing. I'm not a great fighter myself. I'm not gonna pretend I am, but virtually, I'll kick everyone's butt.
I was going to say, I think you're a great fighter. You're just in a different ring.
Yeah.
That's how you have to look at it.
Fighting code.
And you've got definitely all corners.
That's true.
You're covering all corners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that boxing with the fans we have around the world, I mean, boxing is really coming back strong. People say boxing has peaks and valleys, but you got to expect that in all walks of life. Sometimes in our own personal life, we have ups and downs. Same thing in boxing. Businesses, sometimes they're doing great, they're not doing good. It's like the stock market. You see it go up and down, up and down. Right now, I think boxing is on its way up again.
100%.
And I think it's 1,000%.
1,000%. And another great thing about this game, it's gonna showcase boxing's future. So all the fighters that are coming up, and there's a lot of names that will become household names that you may first see in this game.
Right. And
That's
it's
great.
like a beginning for young talent.
Yes.
You know, you get young talent coming up. You got a kid like Ryan Garcia. He's a young kid. And you got Devin Haney. Young fighters. They're babies coming out. They just coming out to the pro ranks. Now Devin Haney's already world champion. Ryan Garcia. They're already talking about him. You know, as another superstar in boxing. You also have a couple of other young fighters.
Patrice Volney, who you met
Yeah.
from Canada.
Yeah.
Frank Galarza, not necessarily a young fighter, but a great fighter, and not necessarily a household name, but you'll get to know him.
Yeah, and this is what this game is all about. The sport that we try to keep the game alive and introducing this new talent that we have out there that's coming up in boxing. This is one way. It's a nice platform for fighters to say, you know, I was involved with the hard knock boxing live, and this is what did it. You know, helped them get him started. And Showbiz we'll be co-hosting shows together. Showbiz from Chicago. He's another guy that's behind this whole thing, that's making sure we get a lot of fighters around the whole country on our show, so we'll be able to interview them and talk to them about this game. Because there's a lot of buzz going out there right now about the game, and people are just getting anxious to see when it comes out in 2020.
Yes.
So I know a lot of people talk about things happening, and they talk about it and nothing ever being done about it. But Quentin Peterson, Mr. Peterson, the creator and founder of the Hard Knock Boxing Live, is making it happen for 2020. This guy's not BSing you about what's coming up. I got a lot of guys that have approached me in the past, and they still have me on the holding pattern. Hey, Joe, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I've been hearing this for the last 10 years. Nobody comes across with anything. This is the real deal right here.
HNL.GG.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, we keep it simple, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, it was like I was looking for the .com. So is that like the new thing as well?
Yeah,
Just
there's
the new
all
lingo?
these new. It is in gaming, and then
Okay.
the .live, as you can see, is also a domain address.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's two.
Two different domain names, but it's pointed to one website.
To one website where
One
you can
website.
see her art, get info on the game, buy some cool clothes soon.
Good,
It's gonna be
so
great.
okay,
And
so
support your fighters that you
okay.
meet.
And that's what I was going to say, and then be able to support who's going to be participating in the game and all of that. Good.
That's what it's
good.
all about. And fun. And fun.
So the website will have weekly upgrades and information in reference to what's going on with the game,
Yep.
what's going on with her artwork,
Yep.
Brianna's beautiful
What's
artwork,
going on with Joe?
what's going on with Joe Cortez, Mr. Fairburn firm. And of
That's
course,
good.
you know, what's going on with everything we're doing. We're trying to get paid forward and help individuals out there and get people on the right track. A lot of people procrastinate too much, and I can't tolerate that. I like to make things happen. I'm a believer. If you follow your dream, make it happen. Don't sit down and talk about what you want to do and don't do nothing about it. Think about it and make it happen, but don't procrastinate.
Be about it.
Too many procrastinators out there.
A lot of people told me I was crazy because I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a boxing game. They're like, you know how hard that is? And I'm like, I do know how hard that is. That's why I want to do it. The motivation is the work.
Well,
And you believed in yourself for sure.
100%.
I love
and
that.
and meeting you guys was very special because I could see where you're coming from. You're legit. You're the real deal, and not only that, but you're making people's dreams come true. You know, this is what we need in life. And with that said, guys, I can tell you that if you keep your guards up at all times, you go ahead. Don't drop your guards. If you drop them down, you're going to get hurt. So keep your guards up at all times. And remember, I'm fair, but I'm firm. I'll catch you guys next week. God bless. Take care. Undisputed champ, Quentin Peterson and Brianna
Kennard.
Kennard. Take care.